Hi, I'm Dave, Fell Running Guide. Today I'm looking at these, the Nank OE Bluetooth earbuds. OE meaning open ear, so you actually wear them over your ear rather than in your ear. In the box, we've got a user manual, not too detailed, so easy to follow. We've got the actual earbuds themselves in a little cradle. And you can see there that the cradle actually acts as the charging device. It charges even when it's not plugged in. The earbuds themselves, the one on the left goes on your left ear, the one on your right goes on your right ear. It does actually say on the earbuds themselves, but it's quite hard to see. And this is charged simply by a USB-C cable, and that comes supplied as well. So just a short USB-C cable there. So very easy to operate once you've charged them in their little cradle. We have a closer look at one of them. The top of the device is actually the on-off button, so it's just a question of press and hold that. And it's really straightforward to pair them with your phone or whatever device you want to use them with. Really straightforward process. So once we've got them and charged them up and paired them, it's time to go out and give them a test. Okay, so the earbuds are really easy to put on, and they go over rather than in the ear. But one thing I was worried about is whether they would fall off while I was running on technical terrain or fast over rough ground. So I put that to the test, and this is what happened. Okay, so I've got the earphones in. The plan is to run down there and hope they don't fall out. So you can see there was no problem there, even over little jumps and things like that. The earphones stayed in place, so I was happy with that. One thing I really like about these compared to headphones that go round attached in a band is that these feel really comfortable. So I've worn them for a 2-hour run, and to be honest, you forget that you've got them on after a while. There's no pressure on the side of your head, so that's a really good feature. Now, one thing I did find is that because the functions are operated just by touching the top of the earbud, if you go to adjust them at all whilst you're running, you can accidentally fast forward to the next track or the next podcast that you're listening to. So a couple of times that happened, so you've got to be quite conscious not to touch them whilst they're in place. Now, one function of the earbuds is that they have a built-in mic, so that allows you to answer a phone whilst you're listening to music or a podcast or something like that. So that's good. The downside is that unless you know exactly what button to press, you can end up rejecting the call rather than accepting it. So for me, I'd be more inclined to actually get my phone out and answer it manually rather than answering it by pressing the correct button, unless you know exactly what you need to do. So yeah, the functions are quite complicated in terms of, long hold on this or press this twice. So either remember those, or for me it was just simply sticking to the basics and just listening to the podcast and not using the buttons whilst I was out on a run. I'll give you an idea of what the audio sounds like through the microphone on the earbuds. Okay, so I've now switched to the microphone on the OE buds, so this is what it sounds like. So I've had some more time out testing the OE earbuds. One thing that you need to be aware of is that there's no storage on them, so you can't download audio files to them and just use them as they are. You need to take a phone with you, for example, and play the audio through those. But that does mean that they can be nice and small and light. In fact, one earbud only weighs 7 grams on my scale, so really nice and lightweight. In terms of battery life, well, I haven't even used them for long enough to wear them out completely. I think the longest I've used them between charges is just over 5 hours. That's not all in one go, that's a 2-hour run and several 1-hour runs. So I think that on the website it says that you'll get around 8 hours maximum battery life out of them in one go. Now that's obviously not enough for a 24-hour ultra, but for most people doing an ultra, that's enough. And it makes sense to actually store them in their charging case because you're less likely to lose them, and then you're always getting a top-up charge with them there. So why would anyone choose to use an open ear earbud rather than an in-ear? Well, sometimes it's good to be able to hear some of your surroundings. So for example, if you're running, you might want to hear someone coming up behind you, or maybe there's a bike coming behind you, someone on a cycle. And I've often been out running and I've seen someone in the distance and I've caught them up and I found that they've got earphones in, and I startle them as I run past because they haven't heard me approaching. So yeah, it's good to be able to hear a bit of your surround sound as well as what you're listening to. The price of the earbuds, recommended retail price is £55, but I've got a 15% discount code, and I'll leave that linked in the description below, so make sure you check that out. So that's it, a summary of the Nank open ear wireless Bluetooth earbuds. They're ideal for anybody who likes to listen to music or audio whilst out going for a run, and they're also affordable compared to other competitors, so worth a look.